today we're going to be working on something really quite interesting. As you guys know, Minecraft 1.14 has released, and it's only a matter of time before it gets updated onto the Hermitcraft server, which means that we're going to be getting all of the new features, such as TNT dropping every single item that it breaks. So, I thought it would be a good idea to hop into a redstone testing world and start designing up an area that we can use to automate a whole bunch of things that we couldn't automate previously. And this of course means that we can use those items that we get from this automatic area to sell them in Sahara for loads and loads of diamonds. So hopefully this is going to make Iskall and Grian really quite happy. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to absolutely nail the item collection and moving system. So this area right here is going to be kind of like a water funnel, and this is going to be funneling all of the items that we get that are exploded by the TNT into some form of storage system. So this right here is our TNT duplicator and also holding station. You will have seen this in recent videos that I did with the TNT based farms. So this all seems to be functioning really quite nicely. Yep, so the TNT is dropping down, it is exploding before it hits the water here. So now the farms are going to be funneling their things downwards. The whole point of this design that I'm constructing right here is that the farms actually push the items down in all of these corners right here, and all of the items all flow into one point. It should look pretty spectacular once it's done. So the first farm that I want to work on is the tree farm, because that's probably the biggest and the bulkiest, and I've come up with a way to hopefully push all of our logs downwards. So let's see. Okay, and then if another tree grows, I mean, how have I never thought of doing this before? Seriously, that I'm concerned that I have never thought to do that before, because that is seriously cool. That's going to work perfectly. And then if we get a 4-high tree, not the end of the world, because it will just shift across like that. So 4-high tree, just fine. Then we get a 5-high tree, goes through, perfect. Nice. Now I think before I actually start working on individual farms, I should probably get myself set up with where the pistons are actually going to be going for the other one. So we have the tree farm, these pistons here are going to be for the cobblestone farm, and then we also want to create some form of concrete maker, which I guess will go somewhere over here. However, fitting that in is going to be tricky because that is quite a big one. I also need to make sure that the TNT isn't actually going to explode any of these redstone components. I mean, surely it shouldn't. That TNT is way too far away to affect any of these, I'm certain. Yeah, I think we're fine there. Oh, I haven't made a backup! I haven't made a backup! Oh. I genuinely have tears in my eyes. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Alright, just go away. I don't fully understand how I keep building these things wrong. I've just blown it all up again. After a number more minor accidents and then actually a backup, I think we're just about ready to go. So this right here is my concrete area, this right here is going to be the cobblestone area, and then this right here is going to be the tree farm area. The cobblestone area we don't actually need to be present for, that does it fully automatically. The concrete and also the tree we do need to be there for, so I'm hopefully going to have those two farms next to one another so that we can gain access to them really easily. And to make that actually function, I've had to do some more jiggling around so things have swapped about, but in theory the actual concrete maker should now be done. So this is a 0-tick system, which means that it is ridiculously fast, and we should see, okay, yeah, that is going straight down. So if I hold down the right click button, we can just fire on through like that, and it will push down all of the concrete and then just gradually fill up this area. And I've got to say, this is ridiculously satisfying to use. Anyway, next up, tree farm. I apologise that we're kind of all over the place here, but the tree farm is going to be going here. It's going to push all of the logs across into these smart pistons, which will then push them into these smart pistons that will push them downwards into the exploding chamber. And I've got to say, the more and more I add to this build, the more and more awesome it is looking. I mean, check this thing out. So we've got this section here. I mean, once we get the cobblestone generators in and everything like that, it's going to start looking ridiculous. Right, with these last few repeaters, that should be everything completed for the building up of that tree farm unit there. So now all I have to do is work out how we're going to push these across. Now, I would have thought that we can just run a redstone line out from this area here. So that will go out like that. And into those pistons. And that could actually do the trick. If we just add some delay on those pistons, then that will shift all of the blocks across. And then we have a smart piston at the end, so that could be everything fully connected for the tree farm. So let's give this a go then. I've placed in all of the logs, and they run up to this point right here, so hopefully, when we place in this sapling... That sounded good, but also strange. It sounded like it was like a double pulse. How weird. It's definitely double pulsing. And things are getting stuck. Okay, I might actually need to slow it down a little bit. It's been a while since I've been caught out by a torch burnout bug in my redstone circuitry. Wow, that is really, really embarrassing. So now that my totally amateur redstone has been fixed, let's actually try this out with TNT. So I'm holding down the right click button. Is it fast enough? Like, is the TNT fast enough? I mean, I'm holding down the right click button. This is kind of maximum velocity right now. It seems to be doing okay. But the TNT is falling a little bit far away. It's actually falling over here as opposed to there a lot of the time. After a little bit of tweaking, I think now we should be in for a winner. One thing that I do want to make sure of is that we have a good sapling return system. So I've actually surrounded the entire thing with hoppers once again just to catch any of those saplings that fly out the side of it, which should hopefully mean that we never have to go out and farm saplings again. So with the tree farm element done and also the concrete farm element completed as well, and also with the platform that I can stand on to do both, it's now time to move on to the final section of this farm, which is the cobblestone farm. Now originally I was just going to have one 5-wide section, but I realised that I can actually make room for another 5-wide section, making it twice as fast, which, I mean, it would be rude not to. Now the actual stone generator modules that we're going to be using are these little things right here. Super smart, super efficient, originally designed by Ilmango, so both of those things are a given, and when they're connected to a 15-tick redstone clock, they will produce stone at the maximum speed that you can, which is exactly what we want for this farming module. This looks seriously awesome. So both the stone generators are in, they're all now hooked up as well, so they have generated stone straight downwards, which is brilliant. And it creates this kind of box in the center here where the TNT is just going to drop through and it's going to blow everything up. I mean, I'm so happy that I worked on this thing. I really am. Anyway, we've got to shift all of this downwards a little bit so that we don't cut off the water when all of the stone gets generated, or even the wood or the concrete, because otherwise, yeah, we're going to run into issues. We're going to remove the water and then everything will get destroyed. So with that new and improved system in place, it's now time to create a redstone line which connects up everything, and then we should be good to run this thing for the first time all together. 2 hours later. This has been a nightmare. I'm going to be totally honest with you, it's been a total nightmare, but I think we might be ready to go. Okay, so let's get this thing up and running. Now, I've been doing a handful of tests and things, and I'm very, very pleased with what we have got so far. So if we flick this lever right here, that will activate the TNT dropper and also activate the bone meal dispenser in the tree farm. Now, we do have a toggle for the stone generators here because they cause quite a lot of lag and you might not always want stone. But as you can see, they work really quite quickly. So gradually the stone makes its way down and, I mean, look at this. So all of the concrete just pours down into the hole. And yeah, it's quite an impressive little system. So all of that gets sorted through and then ends up in this item stream right here. And you can see that cobblestone is already running through into these hoppers. And just from turning on for maybe, what, 40 seconds? We have already got almost 2 stacks of cobblestone. So imagine if you were to leave this thing running for a long period of time. I mean, you would be, yeah, you'd be absolutely swimming in cobblestone. Anyway, of course, cobblestone isn't the only thing that we are farming here. We have also got concrete. Now, due to the lag, occasionally it doesn't actually make its way across. Don't know why this is. There's no real reason for it, but I've got a bit of a solution for it, which is that the concrete just drops through and then lands on a torch, and we pick it back up. Once again, small loss of efficiency, but I mean, I've been trying my best to solve it, and it doesn't seem to be fixable, really. But anyway, all of this is being placed down, it's being pushed across, and then it is being broken by our TNT, and that is also making its way into our storage system. Now, I don't have any sorters on this thing just yet, but if you did, obviously it would all be sorted out into different areas. Once again, very, very cool. And I feel the need to mention that at the point of checking those chests, a lot of the concrete that had flown into the system was still stuck in the hoppers. So we got a lot more than just what you saw there. And then finally, we have got the automatic tree farm. So if you just hold down the right click button, everything will be pushed across nice and quick. And that will be pushed into the path of the TNT. This is being very, very fast right now. So we're getting trees growing left, right, and center. Obviously, it's all powered by bone meal. We just do this for a little while longer. I reckon we're good to check out how much we've actually managed to get from this. And I love watching the items just drop through into that water right there. And we can see that that is all cobblestone. We've got 19 logs there, we've got 24 logs there, we've got 6 logs there, and it gradually filters through into all of the different chests. I mean, this thing is impressive. Look, in the space of time that I've been using it, we have so much cobblestone. And we managed to get, just from that tiny little spurt there, nearly 1 full stack of logs. After looking afterwards, we actually had 29 logs in the hopper as well, so just over a stack. So all in all, this thing is very, very impressive. Super compact, relatively quick and easy to build in survival mode. I mean, it's not a total nightmare. I personally am really, really proud of this thing, and I'm looking forward to building it on the Hermitcraft server. There's a few little kinks that I want to work out and a few efficiencies that I want to add to it, but for the most part, this is the final design. So I will put a link to this down in the description, a little well download, so you can check it out for yourselves. But anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.